What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Big E TV. Today we're gonna be making a little something. As you guys can see, I do got a nice big old beard, and with this big old beard and mustache comes beard care products. I do not at the moment have any kind of caddy or anywhere to kind of organize them in my bathroom, but for a little bit of organization, I'm gonna make a little caddy for them. And yeah, let's go check it out. As you guys can see here, this is pretty much how I have my beard oil. I mean, my wax, my oils, my butter. I got some detangler there. I mean, I kind of got a mess here and there. So I'm looking to put the caddy right in this area here. I kind of want to make it like a 3-tier. The bottom, I want to have my oils. The middle one, I want to have my balm or my butter, and then the top one's kind of like just to sit things on top, like my detangler, maybe like a comb or something like that. So if you guys remember my first video that I made, it was about throwing down a killer slab and making my shed. So the other day, freaking wannabe hurricane came through, and I was literally watching the wind blow from in the back of the house, and I noticed that a tree started falling towards my side, and guess where it was? Right over. It was right over the shed. So that's the trunk that came over. Pretty much came from that when it fell in, and it fell on top of these cables. These cables are pretty much what saved my shed. Thank God, because I would have sucked building it up, and then 2 weeks later it gets destroyed by a freaking tree. But it's pretty much all over it. It was just bushes over it. So I called FPL, and super early that next morning, they came and pretty much trimmed everything. And this is all the trimmings. So now I'm just waiting for them to come back and pick it up. But yeah, that was a pretty good scare. Let's get this built on the road. Don't worry about the jungle I got here. I've been really trying to clean up and do things to organize, but I literally have to make organizational things because I have buckets and stuff like that, but I don't work. So I'm gonna have workbench along this whole back end pretty much up to like the water heater, and then I want to have a French cleat system. And I was thinking about maybe putting racks up here so I could put like kind of store away junk up there, maybe even make it so I can put like pieces of wood that I have and just whatever. But yeah, that's a video to come. Alright guys, so first thing I started off with was the sides of the actual caddy, just because it'll help with the height of each shelf and how deep I need each shelf to go. So if it looks like I'm kind of pacing back and forth, it's just because I didn't really have any plans for the caddy. I was kind of just making it up as I went. That's why seems like I'm kind of going a little slower there, even though I haven't really sped up. I was just figuring out exactly what I wanted and how I wanted it. Now that I got both the sides, I'm starting on the first bottom shelf where my oils are gonna be. I'm just running them past the table saw just to kind of like route out the bottom, just to have the front where it makes kind of like a groove. I could have done it with the router, but I thought of it after I had already cut the piece, so it would have just been a pain to try to get such a small piece and route it out. Alright, so here I'm actually doing what I should have been doing before with the last two trays. I'm actually making a frame for the router so I can actually route down and make a kind of like a tray for the top shelf. It's kind of a dirty process just because I don't have a vacuum connected to the router, but it's worth it because it makes it a lot cleaner of a look. So going forward, this is definitely something I'm gonna have to get used to doing a lot more. guys, so this is the pretty much the finished product. I got my mustache wax. I'm gonna put here. This is supposed to use like a brush. This is my regular everyday brush that I use. This, I want to get a pair of scissors just to be able to trim up here and there instead of using the trimmers. It's a lot easier just to cut the couple hairs that are just hanging there. And then this is just a flat spot for whatever I need. This will be, I put some I don't know if you noticed, but I put some like kind of like wore it down, so it's kind of like concave. So then when I put my butters here, it kind of stays instead of wanting to roll. It kind of gives it a spot to like put. I put 3 concaves, and it's, I mean, I could probably fit like maybe 4 different butters. I like to have different butters just because sometimes they have like different scents, and I like to use the same oil scent that I use. I like to use the butter, the same scent of beard butter. Excuse me, freaking sweating my ass off. So that's why I like to have a couple different ones. The brand that I use called Luxurious Bastard. Really good stuff. I like this. It has a ton of smells, like ton of different fragrances. And he has, usually if he has the oil, he has the butter for it too. I think he also has one that's just no scent. So I'm definitely going to get that because I have a lot more oils, and there's a few butters that I want to get just because sometimes I like to just put beard butter on and not even put oil, so I can still have that fragrance of the oil. Or maybe if I'm out of the oil but not the butter, I can still get that fragrance. So yeah, and then right down here, the bottom one is where I'm gonna put my oils. So oils, butters, miscellaneous, mustache wax, comb, and then pair of scissors. So last thing there is to do is stain it. I got this ebony stain, which looked really nice. I mean, I saw it just like on a sample wood, and on the sample looked pretty nice, and it gives it kind of like a rustic, you know, look to it. So hopefully it goes good with this. I did get a chip. I don't know if you noticed. I got a little chip here, but that's fine. It's not that big a deal. I got the little piece somewhere here, but whatever. That'll just give it the antique look. So but yeah, like I said, the last thing to do is stain it, and then I could put my stuff on it and sand it down. Actually, I want to sand it down a bit, and that's it. But yeah, I used a pin nail gun. I was gonna use Brad's, but this wood, as you can see, I chipped it here. It felt. I mean, it's not the hardest wood. I forget what kind. It's just like, I don't know what kind of wood this is, but it's pretty soft. And it's very, very light. So I didn't want to start putting Brad's in it and then have it split. So I just put glue and pin nails, so it holds it together. At first it felt kind of flimsy. Battery just died, but like I was saying, the wood at first, when I started tacking it together, it felt kind of flimsy. So I was wondering if I should have put some brad nails in it. But once I started putting all the pieces, like the back parts here, I mean, it got super, super sturdy. It's solid. Right here, it kind of messed up. If you could see, right here in this corner, I accidentally, when I put it on my table saw that I have is not the best. I got it for like 20 bucks at a pawn shop, and the angle to make angles on it, it's very loose. I gotta like adjust it or something, but it started turning on me, so then it kind of made it cut it more than I wanted to. But I mean, it's whatever. It's just the back piece, and plus once I stain it, it'll look a lot darker and you won't even notice it. But all in all, I think it came out pretty great. What's going on, guys? So it's the next day, and I finished my caddy. As you can see, I'm in the bathroom. So I just got out the shower. Yesterday I couldn't finish up because Tiff has some stuff to have to do for work. So then I came inside, I took care of the kids, and kind of, you know, was doing stuff afterwards. Plus I was tired, and I was like, you know what, I can finish later. Last thing you guys saw was the finished product, or you saw what I made finished, but you didn't actually see it finished. I stained it, and I polyurethaned it to kind of like seal it, since it's obviously going to be in the bathroom. I don't want it to absorb any water and, you know, whatever, get mold or whatnot. So yeah, let me show you what I got. So this is it right here. This is it all set up, all flashy. Take everything off so you can kind of see how it looks. Move this soap out the way. Cool. So, all in all, came out pretty good. It looks very rustic. Let me see if I can kind of put it in the light. Came out looking pretty rough. I didn't put I didn't seal it here, even though now that I think about it, I should, just because it's still in that part's gonna be the part that gets mainly wet. So I definitely do that, but I want to do the main part around it that I'm actually gonna be grabbing from. So if my hands are wet, usually this doesn't get wet, but if my hands are wet, I'm kind of touching up here. I want to make sure it's sealed. But I'm gonna put it back in a good light. It came out pretty good. The ebony actually is pretty cool how you can see the wood grain. But when I first put it down, it literally just turned it black. And I was like, well, looks like I just painted it black. But once it actually, I left it overnight. So I stained it yesterday and I left it overnight. Then I polyurethaned it. But it actually, absorbed it a lot more until you could see it. So yeah, that's it right there. That's how it looks. Put all my stuff back on. Got some greenery in here that Tiff loves to have. So, like I said, the Luxurious Bastard, very good product. Everything is handmade. It's just him. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's just the one guy that owns the company. I think he lives in California. And I just got this other beard balm that I've had for quite a while. I got my conditioner for my beard, my mustache wax. I got my combs. Oops. Combs. My boar's brush, and that's it. Then I just put my soap here. Fits perfectly. But that's it. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. If you had any comments on maybe what I did wrong, maybe things I could do better, please put them down below. Any critique is good, But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. I'm always into making stuff out of wood or just building whatever. So let me know. I'll see y'all next time. Deuces.